You know, what is sad though, we look at the debate in Parliament yesterday and Minister Joseph basically saying that the criminals have taken crime to a different level. I mean, when did he discover...
Oh, really? When did he...
he was saying that in Parliament yesterday, but we have graduated to a different level when murders crossed 100 for the year. We've crossed 260 for the year, and we're still debating whether or not we have a serious problem. That becomes a sad indictment on all of us. The Constitution, as I keep repeating, is our Bible as a document that governs the country and what a government ought to do and how it's supposed to govern itself in protecting its citizens. And one of the fundamental rights we have is security of the individual. And when it is the government is failing miserably to deal with crime, that an innocent woman gets executed in a manner like this, and she's only one of 265 people who are probably killed for this year alone. That is the greatest revelation of a failure. Now, the point is, you have all sorts of excuses for crime. We have the Prime Minister making an unfortunate statement last week about the young child. And regardless of what information he has about the family or what happens, you being the father of the nation, have a responsibility for all children. And if a child, let's say hypothetically, is in the wrong place or the wrong family, the wrong environment, if a government is not creating the infrastructure to look after these children, you have failed. And you don't criticize the child, you empathize with them, and you have to feel sorry when a child, rightly or wrongly, finds themselves in a situation that they're hurt and murdered in a case like that. So when you send a message that is a tongue-in-cheek sort of comment that casts aspersions on the way in which this child dies, you send a terrible message about your care and concern for your own citizens. Every death is a loss in this country. This woman who dies yesterday, could you imagine? You saw the grief on TV of her husband. She has a child. She has probably parents, sisters, and relatives, friends. How do you counsel people like this? How do you justify? Do you send them an apology? The Minister of National Security sends his condolences. Is that sufficient? That can't be right.
He sent his condolences, did he?
Well, he said so in Parliament. Now, whether that is sufficient, what people want is answers. People want to know, when is this going to stop? But my understanding is just an analysis of where we're going in terms of crime plans, the infrastructure, the breakdown of the administration of justice. It's going to get a lot worse before it even gets better.
Why do you think it will get a lot worse?
Because we don't have the infrastructure. We're not capable of dealing with it currently. And if we're not capable, there's a greater empowering of lawlessness in this country. And it goes from top to bottom. When you have a president who is flippant about what he does, a prime minister who's flippant about what he says, the message that is sent throughout the country is you can do it and get away. And when you have a low detection rate of crimes, even a lower rate of successful criminal prosecutions, there's a serious message out there. When people break traffic lights, drive on the shoulders, ignore basic laws, that it becomes part of your culture. I can do it and get away with it. When gangsterism is glorified and the youth in depressed areas are drawn into it, and we're still trying to understand and assess gangs, you're letting the horse run away and then try to deal with it. We're putting plan after plan in place and not being able to deal with it. And I don't blame the police wholeheartedly, because they are trying, at least the commissioner, in what he says. Hats off to him.
Yeah, I think.